So Vlogmas just took a turn. I hate to be all dramatic, but the past few days have been freakishly hellish. I got my booster shot for COVID. I got laid out for about 2.5 days. I had an immediate reaction about a half hour after the shot, headache, chills, fever, the whole shebang. So after I waited a significant amount of time in pain and misery, I ended up getting onto a regimen of Advil until I felt somewhat better, and today has been the first day that I felt okay. Earlier today I was a bit short of breath, and then we got some not so great news about a COVID outbreak a bit at my kiddo's school. So kiddo will be home for the next 5 days from school. So we're doing distance learning again. So fun. The people who got COVID, some were vaccinated, some were not, and there's just a whole lot of stuff going on with that. Nothing I can do about it. We are going to be testing and making sure that our family, our little unit, is safe and COVID free. It's just interesting that it happened immediately after our vaccines, so that's something we're gonna have to deal with. I don't know what Vlogmas is going to look like. It's going to be very interesting, and it'll probably be snippets of different days at a time, but I still want to keep going strong, so I just want to update you on that. It is almost 9:30 at night. Usually I am like winding down at this point, but this morning I worked on chapter 22 out of 30. It was out of 31, but I combined 2 chapters today, so that feels somewhat like a win, but I managed to work on most of the chapter this morning, and then I left a lot of breadcrumbs for myself. I left myself about 3 sentences. It was a lot, okay? But 3 like complete sentences about like the bigger parts of the scene that I needed to finish, and I got kiddo down around 8 and sat down at the computer against my will, basically against my feeling of wanting to just go to bed, and I wrote and I finished the chapter. I finished strong. I did about 1,700 words today, which is phenomenal. I'd say probably about 2.5 hours total worth of work went into that chapter, and I feel good about it, but I find that writing is very energizing for me, so I'm like super wound up and not ready for bed. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm probably just gonna watch 1 episode of a TV show that I am watching now. I am rewatching Melissa and Joey. It's an old Freeform show that I watched. I think it came out in like 2013, but as I am an elder millennial, I grew up with Joey Lawrence and Melissa Joan Hart, so I absolutely loved that show, and I'm just rewatching it like whenever I'm looking for something in the background or like something to make me laugh. So I'll probably watch 1 episode, and then I'll finish out with Cackle. I'm really enjoying it. It's by Rachel Harrison. I mentioned it, I think, in another Vlogmas episode, and it's getting really interesting. I am 116 pages in out of, I think it was about 288 pages, so I'm getting there. It's really good, but I just find that like I can't stay up too late, although I have been getting a lot more sleep over the past few days since my COVID shot, but they're not really like restful sleep. And like rejuvenating sleep. It's more of like a body you need to like die for a few hours so that we can like repair yourself. But I hope that it doesn't deter you from like wanting to see my progress, because I find that with vlogs that I just truly enjoy seeing the day-to-day to people's lives, and I'm having so much fun doing these vlogs that I'm like determined not to stop. I think it would literally take me like an actual illness to stop, which please no. So we're just gonna keep trucking along, and hopefully that everyone stays healthy, and we'll just deal with distance learning for a little bit. I don't know what anything's gonna look like. Kiddo has break starting next week, at the end of next week. So we're really not having too many days left of actual in-school time before the winter break, which is 2 weeks for the holidays. So we shall see. Anyway, I'm gonna start to wind down a little bit, and hopefully you'll see some more of me writing in a little bit. It's cold outside, but the fire keeps us warm. is a quick morning update for Vlogmas Day 9. I worked on chapter 23 out of 30 this morning. I did come up against a few scene blocks, which is fine. So many interruptions. So anyway, I was a bit stuck in my scene and I had some information from my skeletal draft, but I needed to fill in the gaps. I had like 300 words and I got rid of most of them, but they were able to jumpstart me into how the scene progressed. So I'm not quite done with it yet. I think I have closer to 700 words now, like 700 solid words. And again, I left myself some breadcrumbs for later. I do have my mastermind meeting tonight. It got shifted from yesterday. I know I'm not gonna have any time today to work on it, just with kiddo being home with the COVID quarantine and distance learning and whatnot, so I have to work my job and handle that. So this is the life of a parent during a pandemic and it's so fun. But we actually did some at-home COVID tests today just to make sure everyone was good. Well, we're all good, which is fantastic. I honestly don't want to feel like I felt after my booster shot anytime soon. So that was great, and I'm just sort of getting through the day. I do have a couple of unboxings. I have to catch you up on my advent calendar, and I also need to answer one of my AMA questions. And if you didn't know about those, I do have a link to my community tab about if you want to ask any questions during Vlogmas about publishing or whatever. Feel free to ask on that post or in a comment on this video, and I'd love to feature you during one of the days. So I have a lot to do and film, and we'll see if we can get through it today. I hope I do. So I'm gonna see if I can film without interruption, which is usually not the case. So I am making kiddo's lunch right now while we are in distance learning gym class. So if you hear a lot of bumpy bumps, that's that. So as I mentioned tonight, I have my mastermind meeting, which I do every week, and I am just thinking a lot about my week and looking ahead and everything. I do have my set goals for the month as usual. You know, finishing my book. I'm starting to think about more than that in terms of what I want to be doing next year. And I always find these conversations to be very revealing of how I'm feeling and what I would like to do. So currently, I don't know if you've heard me say it on my channel before, but I do plan on retaking the HB90 bootcamp program. It is a program that was created by Sarah Cannon. She's also an author tuber here on YouTube. I am an affiliate for that program, and I am gonna retake it. Probably part of it this time around. I have an idea of how I want to shift it. Every quarter I sort of retake. I do watch all the videos again, but I sort of really hone in on part of the process, however I'm feeling at the time. So I do have an affiliate link for that program that adds no additional cost to you, but I do get a commission if you take the course. And I'd love to see you in the program too. If you do jump in, whether or not you use my code, don't worry about it. I would love to know, so let me know in the comments if you've taken it before, if you're excited about taking it, if you have any questions about it. So I think I may add that to part of my plan for this week. It's probably gonna be a little difficult. I'm just having like distance learning and all that, but I do tend, because I've taken this course many times, I do tend to listen to it like when I'm doing laundry or little tasks or driving. Like I just listen to the information again just to sort of refamiliarize myself and start thinking about the future. So I do have some plans for later on this month in terms of honing in on that plan for next year. It's gonna look a lot different than any other year, which I'm sort of excited and anticipating. It's not gonna look the same because the way that my mind has shifted a lot with this year and my schedule and everything, it may turn less into like goals and more like projects. I'm not sure yet, so I'm still sort of working through it, but I'm excited to take you along with me for part of that because it does start this Sunday is a live kickoff call. So if you are interested, be sure to jump on that soon so that you don't miss out. And I think all next week I'll probably take it again, but I'm really hoping to get a jump start this week because with this program I do have access to it like whenever I want. I have full access. When you take it the first time around, the course unlocks each day, and then after that you have like lifelong access to the group and also any updates. I have not ever been charged for any updates that Sarah has done with the Publish and Thrive or HB90 course, which is fantastic, and I really love the community aspect. I really think it's helpful when you're first starting out with these programs to work with other people, and especially having Sarah, you know, front and center and being able to ask her questions up front. So I'm gonna bring this upstairs to kiddo, and I'll check in with you when I can.